Hello everyone, my name's Steph at Botanist Cool, and today we are finishing off my custom Battletech group, the Mosswood Rangers. If you're enjoying my mini painting videos, make sure to like and subscribe. That's how you can tell YouTube to watch my videos more often and get me on the autoplay and stuff. But let's get into this video and we'll talk more about that later. The Mosswood Rangers are a custom military branch of the Planetary Preservation Project company within the Battletech universe that I have been enjoying making and creating lore for. As I've been listening to more Battletech lore, I have finally decided exactly where I want to put the Planetary Preservation Project, and I want to put it in the Lyran Commonwealth, specifically because in lore videos that I have been listening to, the only state to have ever mentioned an endangered species program or an environmental protection program was the Lyran Commonwealth. I assume multiple states have them, however, I know a lot less about those states than I do the Lyran Commonwealth and their environmental program at this time, which is to say more or less a passing glance of information and a person who ran it for a little while because she didn't screw up as regent and piss off her daughter or something like that. However, I want it to be relatively recent in the timeline, specifically a little before the foundation of FedCom. I want the Planetary Preservation Project to have a solid base on a couple of planets within the Lyran Commonwealth, and then eventually be used as a political tool to start negotiations between the Federated Suns and the Lyran Commonwealth. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, listen, we're talking now and we're doing military marches together. Let's try to have some of our civil servants work a little together. We have this thing called the Planetary Preservation Project, and we think it'd be great in the Federated Suns to help regulate and keep a lot of those endangered species and unique habitats healthy. And compared to a lot of other things they will have to do in order to merge into the one big FedCom superstate, it's a relatively low stakes project for the two successor states at the time working together to apply their resources to. To me, this fills a very fun political niche in the creation of FedCom, while also allowing this environmental organization to spread to two successor states in the long term. So there will obviously be a Federated Suns branch after the breakup of FedCom and a Lyran Commonwealth branch as well, which I assume the branches are still in contact in some way, shape, and or form. But I don't know. I gotta do more research into now the current state of the Federated Suns and the Lyran Commonwealths, like, you know, communications, what have you. I know that the leaders are like related, like brother and sister or something like that, if I recall correctly, but I don't believe they're on good terms. Enough about me gushing about my personal fanfic creation inside the world of Battletech. I would love to hear your opinions about it. Feel free to tell me in the comments and tell me what kind of custom groups you've made too. I'd love to hear about those. The mechs that are in this specific lance for the Mosswood Rangers include the Archer, the Blackjack, the Rifleman, the Timberwolf, and the Annihilator. They are painted somewhat differently, with the Archer, the Blackjack, the Rifleman, and the Timberwolf all being gray, while the Annihilator is bricky maroon. I wanted to paint them to basically resemble stone and brick and the creations and constructs of man, with moss growing all over them, showing that over time nature will overtake, recover, and destroy what man has created. And what better way to show nature overtaking the creation of man by putting moss on a megaton destroying machine of doom? Man, I love this so much. It is so silly. It is absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, I love this group so much. Anyways, we should probably actually talk about the painting and the basing I did for these guys as well. For the painting, it was very simple. I decided to do a little bit of more dry brushing, specifically with Gray Sear, and then with Corax White mixed with Doom Bull Brown to really bring up those edges on these minis again. Unfortunately, the last time I did this, I did not seal them with any like sense of urgency or time, so they ended up being dulled out over time. So I quickly went, I sprayed them again to seal them one last time, and then I brought them back inside and I started working on the bases. Now the bases, I kind of wanted to do something different from just grass, but at the same time I didn't want to use asphalt for these guys, because these guys are all about working in nature preserves within the FedCom, the Federated Suns, or the Lyran Commonwealth, right? So I decided we're going to be using that new grit I got a few weeks back, I'll be using later on Boo as well, to make paths that the mechs would be walking on, right? Almost like roads through those big parks. Essentially, the mechs are walking down these paths to whatever enemy is threatening the park at a time. The Blackjack, as an example, is just straight up walking down the middle of one of these paths with Flock on either side. That's supposed to be the meadows of the park. The Annihilator is literally taking a few steps to the side and is barely on the path itself, and is actually going outside of the path to get to its enemy. You can see that the Timberwolf and the Archer are also starting to leave the path, going to their rights on there. And then you can see that the Rifleman is just taking a Jurassic turn and is going perpendicular to the path, just straight off of it. And there's some rocks in the way or whatever, but it's fine. The minis look great. The bases look great. Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what I've been told a few times when it comes to bases. It's not gonna be a perfectly scaled base, but this thing looks absolutely fantastic, and the minis look great, and these are great to put on the tabletop to play whenever I decide to play Battletech and give them a shot. I mean, I do have the Alpha Strike cards literally in my hand, so maybe one day I'll do it. Who knows? The one area I do want to improve on here is either potentially putting a wash beneath the mechs to show the shade on the paths that they are on, or onto the Flock itself. And I want to see if I can actually get the mechs off the stand without destroying the stand itself. I know there are some tools to do some, and I am considering getting them in the near future, but if you guys have any suggestions on what tools to use and how to get them or where to get them, leave those in the comments down below. I want to know, because I would love to take these guys off the bases, do the bases on their own, and then get them on the bases. Anyways, y'all, that's all I've got time for today. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. It was a lot of fun, and this little mini series was a lot of fun because I've been painting these guys for a while now, and I have another lance to paint in their colors as well, so I'm excited to get on those soon. Potentially next month, we will see. If you guys are enjoying my mini painting videos, make sure to like and subscribe. It's the best way for you to tell YouTube, hey YouTube, I love watching mini painting videos instead of doom scrolling 24/7 on your bullshit shorts algorithm. So do that if you can. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, you know, thank you for hanging out with me today. If you want to support me more intimately, there's a throne. Don't feel obligation. Y'all stay safe. Stay Botanist Cool. And I'll see you for the next video. Bye, everyone!